Do you want to become more effective and achieve your goals? If so, you're in the right place. Today, I want to introduce you to a book that has helped millions of people transform their lives, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. In this book, Covey shares powerful principles and habits that can help you become more proactive, goal-oriented, and successful. Whether you're a student, professional, or anyone looking to improve their life, these habits can help you achieve your full potential. So, if you're ready to take your life to the next level, keep watching till the end to learn more about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Here, we will examine the 7 habits outlined in the book, their importance, and how they can be applied in real life.
Part 1. Dependence.
In the first part of the book, Covey introduces the concept of dependence. He argues that we are all born dependent on others, and our experiences in life shape our personalities and beliefs. Covey identifies 3 stages of dependence: dependence on others for survival, dependence on others for guidance and direction, and dependence on others for self-worth and validation. Covey argues that in order to progress to the next stage of development, independence, we must learn to take responsibility for our lives and not rely on others for our sense of self-worth.
Habit 1. Be proactive.
The first habit Covey introduces is being proactive. Being proactive means taking responsibility for one's actions and not blaming others for one's problems. Proactive people are those who take charge of their lives, make decisions that align with their values and goals, and focus on what they can control. Covey emphasizes the importance of understanding the difference between proactive and reactive behavior. Reactive people are those who blame external circumstances for their problems, while proactive people take action to change their circumstances. An optimal example of this is when you're facing financial difficulties. Instead of blaming the economy, your job, or other external factors, you take responsibility for your financial situation and make a plan to improve it. You might start by creating a budget, cutting unnecessary expenses, and looking for additional sources of income. By being proactive, you're taking control of your finances and working towards a solution.
Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind.
The second habit Covey introduces is beginning with the end in mind. Beginning with the end in mind means setting clear goals and working towards achieving them. Covey argues that without a clear destination in mind, we will wander aimlessly and not make any progress towards our goals. Covey emphasizes the importance of visualizing one's goals and developing a personal mission statement. He argues that having a clear vision of what we want to achieve helps us stay focused and motivated, even when faced with obstacles. An optimal example of this is when you're considering a career change. Instead of jumping from job to job without a plan, you take the time to think about your long-term goals and what kind of career would help you achieve them. You might research different industries, talk to people in your desired field, and create a plan to gain the necessary skills and experience. By beginning with the end in mind, you're working towards a specific goal and not just wandering aimlessly. In essence, beginning with the end in mind is about being intentional and purposeful in your actions. It helps you create a vision for your future and work towards achieving it, rather than just going through the motions and hoping for the best.
Habit 3. Put first things first.
The third habit Covey introduces is putting first things first. Putting first things first is all about prioritizing the tasks that are most important to us and focusing on them first. It's about being proactive in managing our time and energy rather than reacting to whatever demands come our way. To put first things first, we need to first identify what's most important to us in our lives. This might include things like our relationships, health, career goals, personal growth, or spirituality. Once we know what's important to us, we can then prioritize the tasks and activities that will help us achieve our goals and fulfill our values. An optimal example of putting first things first is when someone is struggling to balance work and family responsibilities. Instead of trying to do everything at once, they prioritize the most important tasks, such as spending quality time with their family or meeting a work deadline. They might use a planner or calendar to schedule their time and make sure they're devoting enough attention to each area of their life. By putting first things first, they're making sure that they're focusing on what's most important and not getting distracted by less important tasks.
Part 2. Independence.
The second part of the book is all about independence, which is the stage where we become self-reliant and self-directed. In this stage, we take responsibility for our lives and make our own decisions. Covey argues that in order to progress to the final stage of development, interdependence, we must learn to work effectively with others and build strong relationships.
Habit 4. Think win-win.
The fourth habit Covey introduces is thinking win-win. Thinking win-win is the idea of finding solutions that benefit both parties in any given situation. The concept of thinking win-win is based on the principle that success is not a zero-sum game, where one person's success means another person's failure. Instead, it is about creating situations where everyone can benefit and win. To understand this concept more, let's look at an example. Imagine that you are negotiating a business deal with another party. Both of you want to get the best possible deal for your own company, but if one of you wins, the other loses. A win-lose mentality can lead to a confrontational and unproductive negotiation. However, if both parties adopt a win-win mentality, the focus is on creating a deal that benefits both parties. In a win-win situation, both parties listen to each other's needs and try to find a mutually beneficial solution. This means looking for creative solutions that meet both parties' interests. For example, if one party wants a lower price and the other wants a longer payment term, both parties could compromise by agreeing to a lower price with a longer payment term. Another example of thinking win-win is, imagine you're a manager at a company and you have an employee who is consistently underperforming. Instead of just focusing on the employee's shortcomings and how they're impacting the team's productivity, you take a step back and try to understand their perspective and needs. Maybe you discover that the employee is dealing with personal issues outside of work that are affecting their performance, or they feel undervalued and unappreciated in their role. With this understanding, you can now approach the situation with a win-win mentality. You work with the employee to create a plan that addresses their personal issues or concerns, while also setting clear expectations for their performance and providing the necessary support and resources to help them succeed. By doing so, you're not only helping the employee improve their performance, but also building a stronger relationship with them and creating a more positive work environment for everyone involved. This is a win-win situation where both parties benefit from the empathy and understanding shown by the manager.
Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
The fifth habit Covey introduces is seeking first to understand, then to be understood. This habit emphasizes the importance of listening to others and trying to understand their perspective before sharing your own. Many people have a tendency to listen with the intention of responding rather than with the intention of understanding. This can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Covey argues that in order to truly communicate and build strong relationships, we must first seek to understand others. One optimal example of this habit is in the workplace. Let's say you're leading a team on a project, and you have a team member who is consistently falling behind on their tasks. Instead of immediately telling them what they need to do to improve, you start by asking them questions and seeking to understand why they're struggling. You might ask about their workload, their priorities, or any obstacles they're facing. By doing this, you're demonstrating empathy and showing that you care about their perspective. This will help them feel more comfortable opening up to you and sharing their concerns. Once you've taken the time to listen and understand their perspective, you can then share your own thoughts and suggestions. By doing this, you're more likely to have a productive conversation and reach a solution that works for both parties. Another example of this habit is in personal relationships. Let's say you and your partner are having an argument about a particular issue. Instead of immediately jumping in with your own opinion and trying to convince them that you're right, you start by actively listening to their perspective. You might ask questions to clarify their position and show that you're genuinely interested in understanding their point of view. By doing this, you're demonstrating that you value their opinion and are willing to consider their needs. Once you've fully understood their perspective, you can then share your own thoughts and feelings. By doing this, you're more likely to have a constructive conversation that leads to a resolution that works for both of you. Overall, the habit of seeking first to understand, then to be understood is essential for effective communication and building strong relationships.
Habit 6. Synergize.
Synergize is the sixth habit Covey introduces, and it's all about teamwork and collaboration. Synergy means working together to create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. When individuals come together and combine their strengths, they can achieve more than they would on their own. To put this habit into action, Covey recommends that individuals focus on creating a positive and collaborative environment where everyone's strengths are utilized. Here are some examples of how to do that. Encourage open communication. Create an environment where everyone feels comfortable expressing their ideas and opinions. Encourage active listening and constructive feedback. Celebrate diversity. Recognize and celebrate the differences among team members, including their backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. Embrace these differences and use them to create new and innovative solutions. Foster creativity. Encourage team members to think creatively and outside the box. Provide opportunities for brainstorming and idea generation. Collaborate. Work together to achieve shared goals. Identify each team member's strengths and assign tasks accordingly. When everyone works together and utilizes their strengths, the team can achieve more than any one individual could. An optimal example of synergy is a team project in the workplace. Instead of each team member working on their own individual tasks, they come together to combine their skills and knowledge to achieve a common goal. By working collaboratively and utilizing each other's strengths, they can create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. Through open communication, celebrating diversity, fostering creativity and collaboration, they can achieve synergy and reach their full potential as a team.
Part 3. Interdependence.
In the third part of the book, Covey introduces the concept of interdependence. He argues that interdependence is the highest level of personal development, where individuals are able to work effectively with others and contribute to a greater good.
Habit 7. Sharpen the saw.
The seventh habit Covey introduces is sharpening the saw. Sharpening the saw is all about self-improvement and self-renewal. This means taking the time to care for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. By doing this, we can be more effective in all areas of our lives. An optimal example of this is when you're feeling burnt out at work. Instead of pushing through and sacrificing your well-being, you take a step back and prioritize self-care. You might take a break to do something you enjoy, such as reading, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. By taking the time to care for yourself, you can come back to work feeling refreshed and better able to tackle challenges. Another example of sharpen the saw is when you're looking to improve your skills or knowledge in a particular area. Instead of just going through the motions and doing the minimum required, you seek out opportunities to learn and grow. You might attend workshops, read books, or take courses to deepen your understanding and expertise. By continually investing in yourself, you can become a more effective and well-rounded person.
Real-life applications.
The 7 habits outlined in the book have numerous real-life applications, from personal development to professional success. Here are some examples of how the habits can be applied in different areas of life. Personal development. The habits can be applied in personal development by helping individuals set clear goals, prioritize tasks, and focus on self-improvement. By being proactive, beginning with the end in mind and putting first things first, individuals can take charge of their lives and achieve their full potential. Relationships. The habits can also be applied in relationships by helping individuals communicate effectively, empathize with others, and work collaboratively. By seeking first to understand and then to be understood, individuals can build stronger, more meaningful relationships with others. Professional success. The habits can be applied in professional settings by helping individuals develop strong leadership skills, collaborate effectively with others, and continually improve their performance. By thinking win-win, synergizing, and sharpening the saw, individuals can become effective leaders and contribute to their organization's success. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this in-depth analysis of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey informative and engaging. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video and what you would like to see next. Please leave a comment below and let me know which book you would like me to analyze in depth next. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.